to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
I've never seen a human use sheets.
I just saw an Instagram of a guy walking a goat with his dogs. I went, there are probably a whole bunch of like cool domesticated animals that you wouldn't realize would participate in those kind of things.
Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Dude's got like fucking horses in his house.
Mini horses and
Yeah.
I saw
And that's just something I wouldn't expect a guy who was governor of California
he
and
was
massive film star to have in his home.
he was on what was it? It was Colbert. And I don't remember what he was doing, but like Colbert has like a skit where he does like you answer some questions and I tell you the kind of person you are or something like it. We know everything.
It's like 10 questions. Or
yeah,
something.
everything we need to know about you can be delved out of these like 10 questions.
Yeah.
And he asked him something about like what animals he was afraid of.
Schwarzenegger?
Okay. Or something that scared him. And I think he said snakes. And then he went into a story about how he would have a party and he would have like gatherings at his property or his home, and he would invite in like various exotic animals and like snakes. And Colbert was like, "Yeah, but you just said you're afraid of snakes." He's like, "Yeah, but people think they're cool." He's like, "And plus, the only way to really get past your fear of something is to have to confront it." He's like, "So I would have snakes there because people enjoy weird things."
I agree with that whole fear thing, but like I knew somebody in high school that had a boa constrictor.
Yeah.
And they like in a big glass, probably a 50-gallon tank in one of the spare rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
And they would get it out and like hang out with it. And snakes, like a dog, you can kind of tell what they're thinking a little bit to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Snakes have that dead eye shit going on that like you don't know what they're thinking. Are they like, I
want
could
to kill
eat
me?
that?
Yeah.
I could eat that. And they're just, you don't know. The little tongues coming out and the dead eyes that don't have any pupils and they don't blink.
Yeah.
So there's no expression on their face.
It may be a challenge, but I'm going to choke that man.
Yeah. That's the same snake that got loose one time in the house.
Yeah.
And decided, like, they had like a built-in cabinet in the hallway, and it found a hole next to the cabinet between the cabinet and the wall, like up underneath it.
Okay.
And the snake got up in there, and they couldn't get it out, and they had to break the built-in cabinet.
Yeah.
They had to break it out in order to get the fucking snake out of there. And it was a big snake. It was very large. I don't know why you would keep that as a pet in your home. It's not like it runs around and plays fetch and like you can let it out to go to the bathroom or take it for a walk.
Yeah.
It's
I would agree. Like it's a
strange pet in my opinion.
It's not even like a turtle. Like at least a turtle like has some sort of character.
Yeah.
And like I even sometimes have a hard time with and we had a rabbit.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It like
they're
doesn't
really fucking cute, unlike a snake, though.
Right. It's like Venus has she has a friend, just Jackie, who like loves and has a like scorpion, I think. I'm like,
or like fucking
tarantulas.
Spiders. Or
like, is it because they like? I understand they could be. Like there could be some beauty to like the complexity, or like it. Sure.
But
like as something that just sits in a
terrarium.
14 by 20 by hopefully very tall, with a very significantly
secured lid.
That just sits.
Yeah. If you got to put bricks
now-
on the lid for something to not get out,
a laser grid
because you're worried about it,
Right.
that's not the pet you should have.
an automated tasering system.
Yeah.
Like, although perhaps it's just like I would like a Japanese Zen garden. Like, there's nothing
to it. Yeah.
But there is almost like a alpha wave.
But you don't have to feed it and clean up after it.
No, but the perhaps like
worry about it killing you.
You're right. I was I was raking the Japanese garden and it fucking bit me.
Right.
And I
lost an arm.
My leg is atrophied. I've got sepsis.
Yeah, no, screw that shit.
Yeah.
If you got to worry about it climbing up in between your wall and cabinetry and not being able to get it out and then break the cabinetry out, no, that's not worth having. And having it dead-eye you while it sniffs around your face.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a strike.
Is today the day?
Yeah, that's how it felt.
It went one day too long before mice feedings, and it wants to choke me.
Yeah. It was big. It was a big snake. But
I mean, that's what she said.
Don't ever. That's right. I don't miss being around the snake. Let's just put it that way.
I had a really good friend in high school that was like a reptile guy.
Yeah.
I never got it.
Yeah. There's a guy at my office that loves I forget what it was. He was choosing to go. I think it was maybe it was the company picnic or something. And he was choosing to go to like the reptile show instead of the company picnic. And I was like, wow, okay.
I mean,
great.
Okay.
You going to go look at skinks and snakes and tarantulas?
Geckos?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Or you could kiss some ass and maybe get a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just
go shoot. Oh, hey, wait! Sad Dad's Club podcast episode. We might near
295.
Is it 295?
I think so.
I should probably pay attention when we at least get 300. I'm Lord Fu.
I'm Jim.
All right, go hit me.
Oh,
you got good shit.
Well, it was the weekend. This is a weekend we knew was coming, right?
Holiday weekend.
Yeah,
but
you. It ended up being a 4-day weekend for me because I had to take Friday off. But Friday we drove to Portland, and I've talked about this before. It's a long drive up there.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's a long drive.
You weren't just with your wife, so you couldn't jerk it to keep and get roadhead to make it incentivized.
Right. We were driving up with my son in his Ford Ranger.
Okay.
Nice truck.
Tremor.
Yep. Tremor package. Nice pickup. Really enjoyed the ride. He drove the whole way. No complaints. Like, hey, you want me to drive? I'll drive if you get tired.
Right.
He just went.
Full send, as they say.
Yeah.
Kids' parlance.
And we get there, and there's just shit everywhere. It's just, not shit. It's semi-organized.
Yeah. She's got a lot of stuff to move.
I
presume.
Well, she's staying in an Airbnb, and then she has a storage locker, storage unit full of stuff. So she's had apartments and stuff. She's got apartments worth of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
From a couple of different apartments, but the Airbnbs is essentially just really what she thinks she needs.
Okay.
So the rest of it's in the locker. So we ended up having to rent a U-Haul trailer, which is the reason why the Ranger went, because Chandler wanted to tow something.
Yeah.
Right?
New truck, new skill set.
Yeah.
Tow a shit.
And hey, cool. If you want to come and drive, that's fine. I don't care.
No. Okay. And you don't have a truck.
I don't have a truck.
So
I don't have anything that tows anything. I could put a hitch on something. I don't think the Cadillac would look that good with a hitch on it.
Okay.
So it was fine. Friday we drove up. Saturday we went to the beach. That
Oh, Short Beach.
Yeah.
I saw pictures.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. We went there before. It's beautiful beach. Had the dog with us, like the whole thing. And then so we got a hotel room Friday night, and then Saturday night, Mellie's roommate moved. Her externship is in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So her dad was up there, and they had packed up because her first day was Saturday.
Okay.
And so they were gone already. So we just said we don't need to buy another $130 hotel room or $50, whatever it was, to stay another night, and we'll just stay at the space because there's an extra bedroom now, and Chandler took the couch. So
okay.
So we got there. The girls worked on a bunch of getting stuff organized, and then we had rented a trailer on the drive up.
Okay.
Because we forgot to. So luckily we found a trailer.
Oh, okay.
From U-Haul.
Yeah.
And so the deal was in the morning for Sunday was the drive home, but we had to go get the trailer, which we couldn't get till 9. So
a.m.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
So Chandler, the goal was to be there at 9. I had rented to pick it up at 9.
Okay.
Chandler was a little running behind.
Okay.
And so as we pull in to pick up the trailer because we're late, the guy is calling me like, "You still need that trailer?" kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, "I'm in the parking lot."
They're gonna rotate it out, or okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So we get there to pick up the trailer, and the dude's super nice, nice guy, about 30 years old, and we're shooting the shit with him and making jokes and cracking up, and knowing that we have a full day of loading a trailer and other stuff and a fucking 10-hour drive ahead of us at least.
Okay.
And so we're cracking up, and so he goes through all the stuff, and then we go, he says, okay, meet me, the trailer's out the back, go meet me over there, and we'll get you set up. So we go out to the truck, and we back up, and we're talking to the guy like we've known him for 20 years or something.
Okay.
He was just super nice dude. And he ends up telling us that I don't remember how the conversation went to get us here, but he ends up telling us that his mom had done some genealogy thing, and she based on DNA.
Okay.
And she says to him, she calls him and says, "Do you know so and so?" Some chick.
Okay.
And he says, "Yeah, why?" "Because apparently you have a son that's 11.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Can you imagine that conversation? So he finds out he's 30 years old, like 3 or 4 months ago. He finds out that he has an 11-year-old son that he's never met and didn't know he had.
Like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so he tells us, and we're like, "Well, why didn't she tell you that she was pregnant?" He says, "Because she didn't know who the dad was." And of course, immediately in my mind, I go, "Slut," right?
Right, sure.
But then he says, "She was kind of a slut." And I go, "Yeah, I think you already said that." So
she loved the dick.
I mean, he was kind of like, it was very interesting because he was like, "I kind of missed all the nasty baby stuff, and now we get to hang out and play video games."
No. Yeah.
But it sounds like he just sort of embraced it, and he's doing whatever he needs to do now. Now that he knows.
Bizarre. So that, I wonder how that works as far as, so that means the mom must have at some point put herself or the kid's DNA out there, like a 23andMe or something? And then the mom ran across it when the mom...
Or maybe in search of who's the dad, she had a DNA test done but didn't have DNA for him and didn't, maybe forgot they fucked. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I'm curious how that kind of discovery, I guess if you're making the records public, I don't know how any of that shit works. But it would be weird to me to be looking up my own genealogy and run across DNA records from someone not legally at any point bound to me. Like, the privacy concerns probably are odd there. Like, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We've been watching a lot of those like true crime things where DNA is like huge part of crime solving now, right?
If we did that kind of podcast, we would probably have more viewers.
Probably.
Kill me.
It's probably 78% of crime solving is DNA specifically.
Well, at this point for sure, yeah.
But sometimes what they do is they have a way to figure out, like through DNA, like they can narrow it down to a family. You know what I mean? So like when they're trying to find, like, here's a DNA sample we got off of a crime scene, and they can like kind of narrow it down to a family if they don't have a specific match. If they don't have a DNA record for all the people, right? They can sort of narrow it down to somehow to a family and end up finding out who the proper person is. They can get it narrowed down to like maybe 7 people that are part of this family that have some sort of match somehow.
Which one of you is left-handed? Chuck is.
Well, there's times where
good job, Dick.
They just go start narrow. They'll like stake out and like grab people's trash and get it tested, and then no, that's not the guy, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they know if they have like 7 people on the list, it's not that hard to start narrowing it down.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know how that works necessarily.
That's
but they
crazy though. What a crazy story.
Yeah,
and good on him on at least circling back. I mean, there's probably all kinds of like, well, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if he was never contacted to say, this is yours, you should participate, right up until that moment, he can...
I think there's a choice there, right?
Sure.
There's a choice for, and what kind of person are you?
Yeah.
Are you the guy that's like...
I bet you he returns the cart.
Yeah, I mean, are you the guy that like take care of your obligations?
Right.
Or are you the guy that denies them and runs away, or just ignores it altogether, or who knows, right?
Well, if she's not going to ask me to participate, then it's not my...
I would think the desire to meet your son would be pretty great.
I mean, it's certainly not universal, right? Because there are shitty dads and shitty parents of all sizes and shapes.
Well, I mean, he didn't have a choice, really.
Why?
Because she didn't tell him.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, confronted with there's no risk because technically you have not been asked or been involved in participating.
Other than the fact that suddenly you know.
Right. So...
yeah.
Now it's on you. What do you do with the knowledge? Do you take the opportunity on your own to reach out and participate and try and do a thing as best you can? Or do you be like, well, no one, I ran across this on accident. So until someone wants me.
Well, I think a big part of that equation too is that grandma knew or mom knew or whoever it was.
Right.
That
and I need grandbabies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they know. So, and now they know, and then they're telling him, and he knows. So it's like if you don't want to act on it, you're probably going to get a little pressure from that side.
This is why I don't do DNA tests.
Man,
hashtag I love my wife. I'm totally fucking kidding.
Yeah, that we were like, holy shit! Like that's bonkers.
Wow.
And he just seemed to take it in stride to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really kind of wild. I had never talked to anybody that had that happen before, so
that's crazy.
I know.
But also good on him.
Yeah, good on him for
trying to
getting involved.
Yeah, trying to do something.
I don't know what that looks like for him. We didn't get into that part of the conversation in our U-Haul hookup and
yeah,
you know what I mean. But
so then you got to turn the chains, and also she was a slut.
Right? Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it was going.
And now we have to do the right blinker and the left blinker, and she sucked best dick.
At one point, he leaned on Chandler's truck and went, "Whoa!" And Chandler's like, and he's like, "Oh, sorry." And Chandler's like, "It's cool, man." He goes, "Well, you wouldn't believe. Sometimes I leaned on some dude's truck and he just let me have it."
Oh,
and we're like, "Damn,
shit."
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought that was fascinating.
Crazy.
Yeah, fascinating.
Did everything fit in the U-Haul?
Yeah, it was. It was. It was nice because the girls, we left to go get the trailer and then went to the storage unit.
Okay.
The girls left or stayed behind and were filling the Forester.
Okay.
We had taken some bulky things that shouldn't go in the Forester because they would just take up too much room.
Right.
And we had taken those with us. And then when they realized, oh, there are a few things here that probably should go in the trailer.
Okay.
They'd stuffed it into the Forester as best they could. And they were already there by the time we got there.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was like we got all the stuff out of the storage unit, got it loaded in the trailer, and it's like, okay, what are we pulling out of the Forester?
Right.
So people can see out the back window. You know, it just made it that much better.
Right.
And so it worked out really well. It's just like for us the perfect size, really. And what's the best part is now all of that shit is in my house.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
It is.
How'd you fit all of
front
that?
Entryway.
I was gonna say
in the hallway,
unit.
in the family room. Now my house is a disaster right now, but the girls have a plan. They're because she doesn't want all the stuff. There's like stuff that she just doesn't want anymore. There's a lot of clothes that she would like to get rid of. There are a lot of clothes, so they're going to be working through over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Working through getting, here's a donation pile. Here's the stuff we want to sell because we know it's worth something. And here's the stuff I want to keep. And then hopefully by the time we're done, either we'll only have to get a small storage facility or none at all. That would be ideal.
That would be good.
Yeah.
And she's here for
a year at least.
So
she's done with school.
You do want to kind of thin out the house because you're going to have that extra person living in the space. Yeah. So it needs to
function for everybody.
It's good. It's good to hear like the donation part because we just went through this with Xander. I can't remember. He's just notorious for wearing, he's had his growth spurt and a lot of his clothes are hand-me-downs from like a friend that's, 2 years up ahead of him or 3 years up ahead of him. So buying clothes for him is like a few and far between. And he's so kind of isolated, independent that we don't really see how stuff is fitting until he comes out of his cave. And he's
walking out of school and you're picking him up and you're like, what the shit?
Those are Daisy Dukes.
Those are high waters.
Yeah, what's up with that? It was like while we've been I said, your fashion style is your own thing, but as your father, I'm telling you that your shorts set are too short.
Yeah,
that it's
we can see your nuts, sir.
Yeah. If you're showing brain, it's.
I hope that's not his brain.
You can't do that. So I got a couple of my pairs of shorts out. I'm like, I have varying lengths. I have
mid calf.
Yeah. Jorts, good. I said, some shorts fit like a niche, like your preppy beach shorts that you're just lounging in may have a higher up thigh, but your basketball shorts, cargo shorts, or a nice like a Volcom, like a almost like a khaki style of short. You aren't coming up too high past the kneecap.
Yeah.
I said, these are what you need. I said, I'm going to buy you two of these like nice dressy shorts, and then a set of basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Of this length. He's like, okay. And when they came, I had him try them on. I'm like, are you okay with these? He's like, yeah. And I said, you need to give me the old ones.
Yeah.
We will donate them. I said,
you're not going to be showing brain.
Right. Yeah, no more brains. No more brain display.
Yeah.
I said, because he has like an attachment to stuff. Like he's always had that, like the willingness to let stuff go. I said, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable, I said, we're not going to throw these away. We're going to donate them. We're going to pass them on to somebody else who could use them or doesn't have an opportunity
to show their brains enough.
Who may actually want to show brain. I said, you thank them for their service, put them all in a basket, and give them to me, and then we'll displace them. And he did. He actually put more in his basket
than he otherwise would have.
Than he would have.
Yeah.
And I said, and we didn't go through shirts. He's got, he has like a T-shirt like a set of T-shirts that he sleeps in. And I saw one morning I think it was a weekend, and like what I told Venus, I said it looks like it's a tie-dye shirt that she made for the kids at some point when he was Silverado. And this tie-dye shirt looks like the Hulk put it on
and shredded it.
And then like the sleeves are blown out, stretched, and the neck is like
but he loves it.
It's nice. I'm sure it's comfortable, and he has an appreciation because his mom probably made it for him.
Yeah.
But the thing is haggard. My dad does the same thing. My dad shows up wearing the same fucking Dale Earnhardt NASCAR shit.
But at the same time,
it drives me nuts.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If you're comfortable with it, if it's something you enjoy, then it...
I agree. But my dad, if it's got holes in it, and
hey, that's his character,
man. If you're working on the farm, that's one thing. But if you're going out to Costco with shit that's got blown out, and no, come on, Dad. Or Xander. Yeah, he doesn't leave. But if my son leaves the house and he goes to PE and he's fucking showing brain while running track. Listen,
if he's showing brain, maybe he's got the wrong ruse on.
Yeah, he could be like his dad and it's just hogged out, and that's one thing. Because if you're trolling,
hogged out,
yeah, but you don't need to be poking eyes out.
Even if you just got a moped, it's fine.
Yeah. Right, that's cute. Your moped.
Even if it's a little Honda 50, it's fine, dude.
If it's a trail bike, or one of the pit bikes, hey, man, you do you. But some of us are power cruisers.
Some of us have a Gold Wing, baby.
God damn. It's got reverse, okay? That's fucking...
Yeah.
To pass it down, but he hasn't, so it's nice to see. And I did that too. Like while I went to, I'm doing my own, not that it's a hardship, but I'm doing the laundry, and I went through my closet. I'm like, I feel like I wear the same, obviously if you watch the YouTube episode, you see I'm wearing a color. I went through my closet while the ladies were gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have like a comfortability. Like I wear the same set of t-shirts, like rinse, repeat. The same set of hoodies, rinse, repeat. They're very comfortable. They fit me. And there were probably a collection of 5 to 8 shirts. I don't wear that anymore.
Yeah.
So I repurposed some of them for shirts that I'm going to wear for the gym. Some I turned into car rags. Like they'll get a second purpose. I don't throw them away.
Yeah.
But I realized I'm very fortunate, but I don't wear these things. They're just taking up space. Like if I can give them another use, and my son he was doing the same. So as a young person now sharing a home with you, like to consolidate, like I think it's good to keep to keep reminders of, try and like your daughter does thrifting, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
she's already probably, as far as paying it forward or being frugal, and having that as a style, like she's already probably way ahead of most people her generation.
She doesn't buy any new clothes anymore. Everything's thrifted. And man, she has some gems. She bought a sweatshirt maybe a year or so ago that says grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So she buys some funny stuff she thinks is hilarious, and she'll wear it, I guess.
That's good stuff.
But so, yeah, she doesn't... so she has a lot of clothes because she thrifts clothes, and it's super cheap.
Right.
So she has a ton of clothes, and in fact, when I got done working today, I stood up from my chair, and I looked across the family room, and there was no place for me to sit on the couch.
Oh.
So she had started going through some stuff today, and then Shanna came home, and they were kind of working on it together, and then Shanna had a doctor's appointment and left, and Melly was like, well, she said we were going to work on this later, so she just took the rest of the afternoon, and when Shanna came home, she's like, how far did you get? And Melly's like, I just took a break.
I took a fucking break. Nice.
And there was no place for me to even sit on the couch at that point.
So where'd you sit? Kitchen?
I
went back to your desk.
Just went back to my...
Goddamn. What a good employee. Hashtag, hey, Dave.
That's right. Anyway, so my house is a disaster. My daughter's home for at least a year. She starts her externship on Monday.
Yeah.
She has to go to Martinez twice next week for training.
Oh, okay. For training, not routine.
No, I don't think that she'll be normally going to Martinez.
That's a
haul.
That's a haul.
I know. She's not happy about it. But I think it's just for training because her normally scheduled places will be Mather or McClellan.
Oh, okay.
So.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Martinez.
In fact, she went down and had to get her federal ID badge yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, you're part of the deep state now.
Oh, welcome.
Look at you.
Yeah. It comes with the free Wi-Fi GB chips.
Yeah. You and Dark Joe.
Yeah.
You guys are getting it done.
Dark Joe. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's kind of wild to see all that taking place. She'll be here for a year, and then she has one short internship when she's done with her externship next summer, and then it's graduation time.
So she have any more school?
No, she is all done with being in Portland for school times.
In workplace experiencings.
Yeah, she has
from here on out.
I think it was 1,800 hours or something they had to have.
Oh, look at that little dog.
And so that including all of her internships and her externship, she's supposed to have like 1,800. I want to say it was 1,800, something like that hours.
Yeah,
she'll do it, no problem. And then her roommate went to Seattle for an externship. So I don't know, and I think they're both in the same boat where they both have an externship that started early. So their last internship, which would normally be right now, is going to be the end of their externship next summer. And then graduation is in August.
Wow.
And then she'll be a doctor.
Goddamn.
Not a medical doctor, but a doctor nonetheless.
Doctor title. Yes?
Yeah, doctor by title.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So really cool. Really cool.
Goddamn.
I know, it's crazy. And it warms my heart when I hear stuff like her last internship in San Rafael, like the doctor saying stuff like, do you have to leave? Can't we just hire you right now? That kind of stuff. It's like, that means she really understands the stuff and what's expected of her.
You're like, keep my number. Keep my number.
Yeah, she was like saying something like, I don't know if I'd want to work there because one of their profit centers for them is selling the hearing aids.
Oh.
And she doesn't want to be a salesperson. She wants to be an audiologist. And so the audiologist that was on staff there that said that to her was like, I don't like selling hearing aids either, but the owner of the place wants me to sell hearing aids. And, so I think she typically leaves that to the owner to do that kind of a thing. So I don't know. It's to me, they go hand in hand. But if she works for somewhere like the VA, I think the VA like has total coverage. If you need hearing aids, they cover it no matter what. And then you're not selling hearing aids. You're just fitting them with hearing aids. You're just ordering them and doing it,
You need them. Come back when you're ready to have them fitted.
Right. When they come in?
Right.
Here's your next appointment kind of a thing.
Pick from the menu.
Yeah. So last time we went to Portland also. We won't have to make that drive again.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless we drive up for graduation. And
why would you not? Is that where graduation will be?
Yeah, it'll be at the normal Pacific Grove campus, I believe.
Yeah.
For Pacific University. Because she wasn't on normal campus. She was in a hospital setting.
Yeah.
Where her cohort was being taught and did all their stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll probably drive or fly rather than drive. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Rent a Corvette while you're up there or something.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But, towing a trailer is interesting. It didn't really, I drove a few hours.
Yeah.
Didn't really feel like it was back there. It wasn't a huge trailer and it wasn't super heavy. So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just the Ranger's, that particular Ranger's a 4-cylinder turbo. It did great. It was fine. Chandler was worried about it on the grade. His previous car was a GTI and he had modded it and stuff and chipped it. And when he would drive a grade on it, the temperature would start creeping up on it.
Yeah.
So he's sort of scarred from that a little bit. So he was really worried about the truck getting warm and then what's going to happen on the downgrade brakes. There's no trailer brakes on this trailer. So he was really worried about that. And I let him drive most of the way through because he was worried about the truck.
Sure.
And then I think I picked it up somewhere before Shasta and drove the rest of the way home. But what a nice pickup.
Yeah.
Very nice. I enjoyed driving it.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
It's the package, it's a good suspension package all around, the Tremor package. So it's a good.
Yeah,
overall.
I mean, the only thing better is the Raptor version, I think.
Right, and that would be overkill.
Yeah. Although he does, of course, want that one.
Well, sure. I mean,
he does absolutely want that one. We actually saw one or two on I-5 pass us.
Really?
While we were trailering. Here's an interesting bit.
Okay.
On I-5, saw tons. I mean, I think I stopped counting at 10 Tesla transport trucks full of Teslas. 3 trucks in particular, 2 of them had 6 Cybertrucks and the other one had 3.
Wow.
Yeah, and I lost probably count at 10, so there was way more than that Tesla vehicles going up north.
Wow.
I thought that was interesting. But the Cybertrucks, we were like, we didn't see any driving up there. We didn't see any driving around in Hillsboro or Beaverton.
But someone was picking them up. Probably people at Microsoft.
Oh yeah, it's all Seattle probably.
Yeah, little Bellevue dipshits.
That Chandler and I were talking about it. Interesting because the area where Melanie lives, Hillsboro, Beaverton, you see the difference in the kind of cars that are just driving around town.
Okay.
You don't see Beamers, Mercedes, Cadillacs. There's like a whole slew of like sort of luxury brands that I guess that you don't see up there. Most of them, a lot of Hyundais and Kias. Toyota, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you'll see something, but you don't see, like here, everything's a dime a dozen.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even Teslas, you don't see a ton of Teslas up there. Here, they're
All
like
over.
Corollas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were talking about that on the way home, how much of a difference the two areas are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's interesting to me. Just the differences in the areas.
Do you think is there any like upper income industry there? Is it like
Hillsboro has a large Intel facility?
Okay, that is
very large.
That is interesting.
I think it's bigger than the Folsom
campus.
Yeah, I think it's way, way bigger than the Folsom campus.
Huh.
And then Nike has their headquarters there.
Yeah.
There's a company called Tektronix that's there that makes like video test equipment. That's right down the street from Nike. So there's a lot of high tech industry and some other stuff around that area. So I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe they just don't have the support for those kinds of cars around.
Huh.
Like if there's no dealers or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure.
How bizarre.
But anyway, just very interesting, just observational.
Yeah.
It's not like there's none. It's just you don't see them as often, But I don't know. Whatever.
Do you like waffles?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a good question for you. When was the last time you made waffles?
It has been a little while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just recently had one.
Really?
Yes.
Was it a twat waffle?
No.
Okay. Do you like a waffle that has the divots, but is almost like soft, spongy, like a pancake?
No.
Or like when you come across with like butter, does it?
I want a little crisp texture to it,
like a toasted Eggo. Like it has a crunch to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, me too.
Yeah. So almost like on the well done side.
Right.
Sure.
I can't remember where it was. Oh, it was a couple weeks back. We went to Bach down on the grid, and it's like a southern chicken and waffle kind of place.
Okay.
And I got a 2-wing and a waffle. It was a cornbread waffle. So like a
that's interesting.
It was amazing, but also like it crunched,
crispy.
And it was a big, not
it should be fluffy inside but crispy on the outside.
Yes, and that's what it was. But also because it was like a cornmeal, it wasn't like it was fluffy and airy in the middle, but it had crunch. Like, man, when we make waffles here, it's probably like a utility batter that probably could just as easily been doubled as a pancake.
Sure.
But we're just putting it in
a Bisquick or something.
Right, and putting it in a waffle iron and yay, waffles. But it's squishy, spongy. Like fucking
Now I will say this, at home, no. If it's squishy and spongy, it's staying in the fucking waffle maker until it's got a little crisp on the outside.
Yeah, I haven't really until this moment.
Oh,
I hadn't really
thought about it.
Fucked around, but after
fuck around and find out.
Right, and it's squishy. So in making the menu, when it was just Xander and I, so I have to wind back a little bit. We made the last week we were talking about we made the rice balls.
Yeah,
and like a shrimp tempura. I couldn't mention this while I hinted at it. I couldn't mention specifically my range top cooktop must have gotten water or oil somewhere in a burner or a safety mechanism. So when you turn it to ignite it, it does like a safety buzzer.
Oh,
like it's
weird.
not. It wouldn't ignite. It would say like something's wet. We did that cook Saturday, the week before last week's podcast. And we had cooked dinner. I had washed the range top, put the dishes away. I think I was watching something on Netflix or YouTube, an hour or so after the kitchen had been cleaned, and I started to hear.
I mean, it almost sounds like there's a short.
And it would come in and out, and I look at my fucking. Is the neighbor doing something? Like what is that? And it was so inconsistent and random that for about 15 minutes I had just blown it off until it and I went, well, what the?
Oh, and then it flatlined on the noise.
It just flatlined, and I went, okay, what? Get up, look at the kitchen, and the little light buzzer on the range top indicating safety, short, whatever, was blinking, and it was buzzing. Oh.
Had you ever seen that before?
It had happened years prior when cleaning it, and I think I probably one of us, I don't know who, but something had gotten wet, and it was.
It's a gas. It's gas, right?
Yeah, it's a gas. So I had unplugged it or like extra dried something off, or like, oh yeah, the switch might have gotten a little wet. You know, paper toweled in there and left it overnight, plugged it back in, and it was right as rain. I went, oh, that was weird. So in thinking, okay, well, all right. So I unplugged it overnight, thinking it'll dry out. I went over. There wasn't water or oil clearly anywhere. So I'm like, well, why you got to be a dick?
What you talking about, bro?
Right. Sunday, I worked. Sunday after work, I went into the kitchen. I'm like, all right, so I'm looking at the menu, like, because I grocery shop Saturday. I'm like, I think we got stuff for spaghetti. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to put the pot on the stove, and so I got to reach in here and fucking plug it in, and it's not having it. The buzzer is just going bonkers. I'm like, well, what the fuck?
Right.
So I completely disassembled the thing, looked for wet oil. There's nothing. That inside what I can see is dry as a bone. I'm like, is this really happening? Right. The stove will work. It will ignite, but it is the most annoying sound in the world. Right. So you can't cook like that. So I'm like, well, I have a barbecue, I have a Blackstone, I have an oven, I'm fucking fine. We just won't make. Anyway, so a whole week of me I put our little space heater on the range
to dry it out,
to like blow air through the top orifices, thinking, and then throughout the course of the week would then plug it in and be like, Xander, are you ready? Here we go, buddy. And I'd fuck. At some point, Thursday or Friday, with it plugged in, the light shut off.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, okay. 6 fucking days later, it had finally righted itself.
Yeah.
And go to turn a knob to ignite the igniter, and the light comes back on. It's like, fuck you, bitch.
I wonder if it just has a short somewhere.
It's contained, so there's no way to get at the actual electronics without cutting at it.
So it's an actual cooktop. It's not like the top of a stove, right?
Yeah, it's a drop-in cooktop. Yeah. So I planned the bulk of the rest of the meals around not using the cooktop, which is fine. Right. So one of those things was waffles. Like, fucking, all right, I'm going to make...
Well, you don't have a waffle maker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have one. Okay. It was just that I had never sat down to really create a waffle batter with the intention of creating a waffle with the consistency that I just had at Bach, where I'm like, I need it to be like, I want crunchy. I want it crunchy like an Eggo, but a homemade Belgian-sized waffle.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this fucking waffle iron.
Yeah.
I don't need a ranged top. Fuck you. So,
how would you make, out of curiosity, because we always use a waffle iron.
Right.
Do you have an implement that works with the ranged top to make waffles?
No. We have a waffle press.
Just a regular waffle iron.
Yeah, we just have
just electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
An extra device.
Okay.
Not that and that's what we normally use. It was just, I'm like, trying to come up with ideas that didn't involve me.
Okay.
I'm like, well, we could do.
I thought you were saying that you were making waffles, and you were hoping to be able to use the stovetop.
No, I was specifically coming up with stuff that I hadn't cooked in a while that didn't need.
I got you.
A stovetop.
Okay.
And would
I was like, damn, that's an interesting way to make waffles that I don't know anything about.
Although, someone makes a hand thing that just goes on a burner.
Yeah, but then it seems like that would be inconsistent heat on the top and the bottom. Waffle iron's going to cook on
the one
both
I
sides.
watched was some dude from Japan, and leave it to the Japanese to come up with we just use this because that would be efficient. But why you plug another device? We live in small closets.
Yeah.
So I got the fluff, but I didn't get the crunch.
Okay.
And now all my YouTube algorithm recommendations are like the amount of waffle recipes.
Oh.
And so I made them last night. I made a cornbread. I was happy. I personally was happy with I like a savory waffle. So my first one out of the gate wasn't a flour waffle like a traditional. It was like a cornmeal waffle.
Okay.
I liked it, but didn't have the crunch. I'm like, so now I'm off into the what gets you the crunch?
So I just saw something recently that was talking about powder and soda.
Yes.
Baking powder and baking soda.
Yes.
And I don't remember. I'd have to look it up which one was good for what situation.
I used both.
Okay. Because there's a combo, and then there's use one or use the other.
Yeah.
And that would give you more crispy.
And some you opt out of one or the other, and you separate your egg whites and whip your egg whites, and that gets you the fluff without having to use the soda or the powder, depending on which one you wanted to opt out of. So,
Oh, yeah. That's a science experiment.
Butter or oil, or 2 eggs, 1 egg, size of the egg. How much do you are you using any sugar? How about honey? Crazy.
Yeah.
And I saw some dude that was straight up using, he was starting a yeast. Buttermilk versus whole milk.
Oh, wow.
Versus milk and vinegar. I mean,
it's off in the weeds.
See, I don't care about the buttermilk, like I'm fine with normal milk.
Okay.
I don't need the sourness, that part. I enjoy a slightly sweeter waffle.
So was it not a situation where if you just left it in for a little longer, it would have crisped
No,
up?
it wasn't.
Oh.
They were. I gave them
pretty dark.
I gave the second batch like a pretty good dark, and they were tight, like firm, but not crunchy. I'm like, I need the crunchy.
I wonder if it has to do with the temperature of the waffle iron itself. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now I'm on this, like, my next iterative thing is waffles. Like, it could be that my batter wasn't like thin enough, or that it was too thick, or somewhere in between. Like it wasn't peanut butter, but it wasn't like easily poured in like this one Japanese restaurant. I'm like, oh, fucking, maybe it wasn't enough butter. Or perhaps I need to omit the cornmeal to start and just work on flour. But I munched on leftover waffles like the bulk of the evening. I'm like, man, I like the cornmeal waffle.
There are things that I would like to spend time on.
Yeah.
As far as cooking.
Yeah. Hit me. What?
I want to recreate Zelda's pizza dough.
Oh.
And their pizza dough is so unique. It is not a regular pizza dough. It is not cornmeal.
Really?
No.
Oh, I mean,
it's like a scone almost.
Oh. Ooh.
You ever notice that?
I may have only had it the one time.
It's kind of like a shaped dough that you can you can just sort of smash around and it's going to hold its shape when you put it in. It's not like a dough ball that you roll out.
Okay.
It's a dough ball that like almost like pie crust.
Okay.
But like a scone style crispy. It doesn't really grow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't rise. Is what I'm getting.
Okay.
So it doesn't have any rise properties, and it gets crispy.
Have you looked for the recipe and you haven't? And you haven't been able to?
No, I have done a bunch of research trying to figure out how to. First of all, how to categorize it because I can't figure it out. And it's a very unique dough. Whatever they're using it's not like a normal yeasty dough. It's like a I don't know, man. So there's
and they serve theirs kind of like
it's in a pan,
deep dishy.
Yeah,
right?
it's in a pan.
It's not like a blaze pizza like a flat.
No,
it's
in there.
It's got some walls to it.
Yes,
right.
It's a 1.5, 2 inch deep pan.
Do you have a pan like that to cook?
Yeah,
a pizza?
I got small pans. And then it could also make a difference how it's baked. I don't know what temperature they use. I feel like their temperatures are lower than they're not doing 700 or 900 degree ovens.
Have you ever? Does your research include asking them like, "Hi, I'm a big fan, and I'm wearing pants this evening. Could you inform me as to your pie crust?"
It's odd that you say that. So Zelda's was owned by a lady named Zelda.
Okay.
She passed away and her son took it over.
Okay.
We met at the time she was younger. She was like a niece of Zelda. So
all right.
She was related to Zelda's sister. Zelda's sister opened her own restaurant in Citrus Heights by the Sunrise Mall.
Okay.
And it was called Zelda's Sister. And it was the same exact pizza.
Oh.
And we were friends with the granddaughter.
Okay.
And she was super cool. And every time we would go in there, she would wait on us and she'd sit down at the table and we just bullshit with her. She was a super cool chick.
Yeah.
Chandler is still friends with her as far as I know. I don't know if he's talked to her in a while.
Yeah.
I could ask her.
Yeah, do that. Just send your son over there. Take one for the team.
But Zelda's sister isn't around anymore. They were there in Citrus Heights, and I think they raised their rent so high they ended up moving to Loomis, and they were in Loomis for a while.
Yeah.
And we went there several times, and I think they just never got a foothold in Loomis.
Yeah.
And they're no longer.
Womp.
So now whether or not she knows the recipe, because I think she just waited tables, I don't know. I don't know that she was actually in the kitchen much, if at all. But I don't know. That could be a source, but I don't know if she would know the answer. So I do have an in, but I also it's one of those things where I would love to just experiment. First of all, I'm a pizza guy. I love pizza.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind spending time just trying shit out,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think about that a lot.
I have one down on my list, and it's the Japanese jiggly cheesecakes. Like those, they're like 4 to 5 inches tall.
Sort of gelatin based?
No,
Oh.
They're just super jiggly, like a nice ass or a big boob.
Wow. I don't think I've had one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a yellow cake, but it's heavily whipped.
Okay.
Egg whites, and
it's baked.
I don't have a pan. I mean, because it's a hot.
You can find anything on Amazon.
Well, absolutely. But then now I'm starting to invest in it. Like I bought cream cheese, thinking I would take a shot after I did the rice balls.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna finally make one of those fucking. But I don't have the pan.
Yeah.
But I bought the cream cheese just in case. like the whole aesthetic. They're just so. It's like a cake boob. I want to make a cake boob.
I feel that, but the thing is like the thing about the experimentation thing is if you're doing this for dinner.
Oh yeah,
and then you completely fuck up dinner, then it's a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's the rub, because if you're trying to like do a thing and then like it's disgusting or you completely screw up somehow, then you've just blown dinner for however many people you're expecting.
I took then you end up with a good thing, like the sushi rice, the making of this, like we talked last week at the Price Balls. Last Monday night, I made another batch of sushi rice and did a high end for us, like a teriyaki chicken rice bowl. We make, Venus and I will both make white rice in the Instapot all the time.
Yeah.
But this was the first time, and we've had teriyaki chicken rice bowl dinners. They're totally fine.
Yeah.
They're always good. They're good. But Monday, after having the skill set of knowing how to make a really good sushi rice, Monday night's teriyaki chicken, plus I did usually we'll just talk, because it's a nightly thing. We're a busy family, so we're broiling chicken thighs or something because it's fast. And I also haven't had the barbecue, the Camp Chef, until the last month and a half or 2 months or so.
Yeah.
So the opportunities to do some of the things that like replace, like put it in the So not only did I had a teriyaki soaked chicken thighs, but I grilled them, and I had the sushi rice, and
nice.
I got Kinder's makes a really good teriyaki sauce glaze that it's like my go-to now. It's not super sweet, but it's like a perfect teriyaki glaze for me.
What's the one that I like? A Yoshida's sauce. Have you ever had that one?
Maybe.
It's very good.
Is it like what I like about Kinder's is it's like a glaze. It's not like almost like as thin as like a soy sauce.
It's a little thicker than that.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I made these fucking kick-ass. And I was telling Xander Monday night, we were watching some anime, and we polished the shit out of this double batch of sushi rice, and I was concerned I wouldn't have enough because I wanted to have some for Venus to take to work if she went to work today. Like, trust me, you need to try this because this is. And so I'm telling Tanner, I'm like, it'll be hard to have the other one. Now I'm on the hook because I know like what has been seen cannot be unseen. It'll be the same.
You outdid yourself.
Yeah, right. The same thing with the waffles. If I figure out how to nail the crispy waffle, like we can't have quickie waffles anymore. I'll be like, well, no, I'll make the batter because trust me on this one.
I would swear to you, just with Bisquick, we've gotten crispy waffles.
Really?
Yeah.
Xander and I
I don't know what the fuck is in Bisquick as far as like their combination of flour and baking powders, baking soda, whatever, salt and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have in there, but I would swear to you, just with Bisquick, which is the quick and dirty way to make waffles.
Yeah.
That your only variance is how much liquid you put in it. Right.
It was definitely. It had
maybe oil,
the fluffy and airy consistency that I wanted. So I was comfortable with the baking powder giving me the leavening that I was looking for. It was,
but it
was just short on the crusty part.
I know, but I think the baking powder baking soda ratio can make a difference on how the exterior. Okay. Also, the crispness of the.
I would buy that.
Yeah. So there might be some tweaking.
To say no.
I only know because I watched a whole video about it. Like, because I was like, well, what do they do? Because they just say, oh, they're leavening agents. Well, what does that do? I mean, I'm not that smart.
Prisoning.
No, honestly, I don't know what. Okay, you say it's a finite number. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well, if you just Fibonacci it, then it becomes the floof.
Right.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. So okay, it's 11ing. What does 11ing agent do? Okay, so I watched a whole like sort of chemical breakdown of what they do when they're in the thing.
Right.
And that was basically the crux of it was that more of this will do this and more of this will do this. And if you have a combo, they'll kind of do this together. But there's a whole science experiment.
There's ratios.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if the whatever recipe you found maybe gave you a ratio that just made it fluffy inside but didn't account for the outside.
It's possible. Yeah. I don't know. I think I may have been more focused on trying to get myself a recipe that was the cornmeal waffle.
Well, I don't know that's...
And I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the crisp part.
Yeah.
I just figured that's what I was going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right.
Sure.
It's got butter. And
it's got cornmeal in it.
The butter's going to do the things, and the cornmeal. And I'm making this from scratch, and it's going to give me the floof and the crust, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one way to know. And I didn't get the crust, but I got the floof, and it was.
But
good.
Then you learn something,
right?
Because now you have this like starting point to like next time you go, oh, okay, I did a little research, and if I cut down on X or Y, whichever one it is,
right,
or maybe cut one out,
right. That like the time I did the cooking a pancake in ghee, like you're almost like deep frying pancake batter,
yeah.
Came out crusty.
Yeah.
A crusty pancake.
I love crusty pancakes.
Dripping with oil.
Oh, yeah.
Like so fucking greasy.
That's too
and
much.
Everyone went, it's very crusty.
And greasy.
And I will be Jackson Pollock on the back of the toilet when this shit finally gets to the colon. Like.
Now, I will say this. Like, say what you will about what the fuck is the restaurant? When this is years ago, when the kids were little, we went back east and went to Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay.
So we went there in Midwest in Kansas or some shit, and their pancakes have that sort of crispy edge.
Yeah.
Probably because they have oil all over the fucking thing. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I don't know if they're still doing that now or if they're as good now. Our Cracker Barrel's shit. So I don't know. I won't go back probably. Anyway.
Yeah.
But they used to make real good pancakes. But I don't know if they're still doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, they're closing a shitload of them anyway.
Are they?
Yeah. The one in Sacramento's got closed. I don't know about the Rockland one.
I was going to say there's one in Rockland, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been. I don't.
We've been to the one in Rockland several times.
Yeah.
We went one time, my wife and I. She just there's a breakfast sandwich there she really likes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, sure, we'll go to Cracker Barrel. We sit down. We get our menus and we're looking over. No one's coming to the table. They sat 4 or 5, maybe 6 other tables behind us. They all got people at their table taking orders, and then they're getting drinks, and we're still fucking sitting there.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And I said, I think that's our server right there. And if he leaves that table right now and doesn't come directly to the table, we're going to get up and leave. And so he did whatever he did at that table and walked right by. And I said, let's go. And we left. And I will not go back now.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Yeah.
When I'm seeing tables that sat after us that are getting drinks and shit.
Oh, wow.
And like literally food delivered to their table. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how'd this happen?
Yeah.
How can you not see the table, right, without service?
Like, I don't know if he and the hostess stand had a disagreement and they're just fucking him.
Right.
I don't know, but he didn't get our
I don't want to
tip
tip
money.
top. They're not going to give me the 4. There's more bill. Tip's better.
Yeah.
Fucking, you want a tip? Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's you got a starting point, I think, to leap from.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how that works out. But it's the whole thing, like, I feel like it's wasteful to, like, go through the experimentation phase to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you're going to make a thing that's good or not.
Sure. But, waffles.
Waffles. I'm talking about pizza. So you're...
Oh, yeah. I mean...
You're doing sauce and cheese.
How fucked could the pizza be that you're not going to actually eat it?
Well, that's true.
I mean, if you burn it, that's one thing. But if you're like, oh, it doesn't quite have the consistency, but you've put...
Yeah, I know.
You're going to fucking pound it. Don't lie to me.
There's a saying about pizza, right?
Fits in
Even
my face
bad pizza's good pizza.
Yeah. I mean...
Holy shit, pizza, dude. One night a couple weeks ago, my wife said, can we just go to Domino's?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, sure. Because we've been doing Domino's on occasion.
Oh, okay.
It's not terrible pizza. I don't know what the fuck Domino's is doing.
Domino's... Little Caesars is the one that has pizza already cooked and like ready for you to pick up. Okay. So I don't know enough about Domino's.
So they have pretty good deals. Like 2 medium 3-topping pizzas for $10.99 a piece. It's like, that's cheap. We can get our own pizzas and have leftovers.
Yeah.
They have a crispy thin crust. I don't normally get that. Usually I'll get a pan pizza or something like that. Mm-hmm. But this particular night, I wasn't too keen on having Domino's.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if I'm not really keen on it, that means I don't want the normal thing. So I ordered the thin crust. It had pepperoni, sausage, and bell pepper on it.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck Domino's is doing. They have no business making pizza that was that good.
Oh, yeah?
Honestly, I could not believe how good the pizza was.
Laced with crack. Could be.
What is happening? How is it Domino's making good pizza?
Where's the Domino's that you went to?
I
don't even know where there is one, honestly.
Over by Huckleberry's.
So Home Depot, Lowe's over there?
No, the one that's on Foothills.
Oh,
across the street from like Jack in the Box and Dollar Tree.
There's a Burger King right over there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Back
There's one in there?
Yeah.
Shit.
Right behind the Burger King.
By the gym and that kindergarten place?
Yeah, so you come in, Burger King's on the left.
Yeah.
And it's the first thing in that next building on the left side.
I'll be damned.
But, oh my God, like what the shit? Their pizza was delicious. And that crust is insanely good. It's all crispy and stuff. Yeah, I'll do it again.
I'm so fucking hungry right now.
We're even talking about food.
We're at time, too, so it's probably good. I have
because we got to order Domino's.
Fucking...
It's coming.
I think we got steak quesadillas.
Tonight?
But I'm hungry for pizza. Shit. And that's, I mean, we've had pizza a couple times because,
Yeah, because dudes. Yeah. Where do you get your pizza from here locally?
Pizza Guys.
Mm-hmm.
I like Old Town Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm spending, but if we're just doing quickies, it's Pizza Guys.
There's a couple
or
places.
Blaze. We like the quick fire stuff too.
I like Mod better than Blaze for quick fire.
Yeah.
But we'll like Shan really. We both really like Round Table. We'll hit Round Table.
Yeah.
That's a good pizza.
Yeah.
But fuck, I don't know what Domino's has no business having pizza that good.
Coming from the foothills in Grass Valley, like Mountain Mike's is like will always be like in the veins.
Yep.
And then Round Table is like number 2 because then it was like, well, they've got one right here at Combi now, so we couldn't make it up to Mountain Mike's in the Kmart shopping center on McKnight.
Yeah. What's that pizza place over there by Food Mart or
I don't know.
Flour Dust? Have you tried that place?
No.
You know where Taco Bell is on Foothills?
Yes.
It's in that corner, the back corner. Out in front of Save Mart. Save Mart's here, and it's like on the side.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Should try it sometime.
God damn it.
It's a little pricey, though. That's the thing. If you're not looking to spend that kind of money, you just want some pizza.
Right. Yeah, that's why Pizza Guys.
Maybe
plus,
a date
Pizza
night
Guys
thing.
has the little churritos.
There it is.
So.
There it is.
Yeah, so it's like, hey.
Now we know.
Venus will be like, so pizza? And I'm like, yeah, I get pizza. And she'll look at me and she'll go, you want the churros? And I'm like, want the churros.
Of course.
And like the last couple times though, they're not dusted right. And so it's
Oh.
like, now I feel bad because
They were haphazardly done.
Yeah, you put these in too long, and the cinnamon's not really caking to it. It makes me very sad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
on that note, you should return the cart.
Wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Return the cart.
Wash your ass. Stay up to date on your shots.
Check your oil, Tony.
Pick up a broom.
Do the call if you need. Call the do if you need.
Do the kindness. Make the call. We're off the fucking... See? The hunger sanity is kicking in.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We'll catch you next week. Bye.